On February 12th of this year, 2016, my grandfather, my mother's father, Grandpa Ralph, would have turned 100. And unfortunately, he died young. He was in his early 60s. My grandmother was about 60. He died 5 months after her. Both of their deaths were tragic. Now, I have some memories of them. I was very young when they died, so I don't have a lot of memories. I didn't really get to know them all that well, but I have some. And my grandfather was full Italian. His mother was actually from Sicily, and she never could speak English. I don't have any memories of my great-grandmother. All I can remember is hearing her in the back room yelling in Italian. That's all I remember. I don't remember what she looked like. I don't remember seeing her. I just remember hearing her yelling in Italian. Now, both of my grandparents were great people. Everybody who knew them loved them. And my grandfather was very generous and very outgoing. He would have taken his shirt off his back for anybody. And I feel lucky that I have some of his traits. I'm naturally a good cook. I don't know how that happened. I never really got taught. I just kind of know how to do it, and I'm pretty good at it. And he was a great cook, an amazing cook from what I heard. He wouldn't allow my grandmother in the kitchen. When he was there, she wasn't allowed in there. And all she could really do was cook soup, and that was about it. He was also a skilled carpenter. That's actually what he did for a living. And I have those skills. I build all of my own furniture. And he also loved music, and I'm addicted to music. He played the guitar. I've been trying to play the guitar. I just don't have a lot of time, but I have been learning the piano, and I'm actually not too bad at it. But it's going to take some time. But I feel like I have that in me, that I've always had that desire to want to play music. And it probably comes from him. Well, thankfully, there was never any video of him, never any film, but thankfully there was an audio recording of him. And it's him playing the guitar. You hear a little kid at the beginning talking. We think that's me. We're not 100% sure. We don't know, but we think it's me. The recording itself might be from the late 70s, maybe 1979. It could be 1980. Again, we're not 100% sure, but we think it's around that time. You then hear my grandfather, and he will play. And then at the end, you're going to hear a woman singing and laughing. And that is my grandmother. And she had a wicked and very dirty sense of humor. She loved to break my mother's balls. She loved it. She would get a kick out of it. My mother it would drive her nuts. But I once read this letter that my grandmother wrote that was very dirty. And it's not the kind of thing that you expect to hear from a grandmother. But my grandmother was not the sweet little old lady sitting in the rocking chair. Oh, hello, everybody. No. One of my memories of her actually is when she would visit us. And when she would leave, she always wore a big giant overcoat. She smoked heavily, so she smelled of cigarettes and perfume. And when she would leave, she would shut the door, and we had a screen door. And she would go, "Goodbye, my babies!" And then she would kiss the screen door and leave big red lip marks. And we could never remove it. And when we moved out of that house, her lips were still there, long after she had passed on. But I'm happy to present this in honor of my grandparents and my grandfather, who would have turned 100. This is them, and I'm glad I have this to share with you.
You get out.
But this was pop when it hits.
I'm at middle age now.
Stop now, you have to stop it
He's
yourself.
already been out. He's already been out.
Stop this here, right?
5 days.
Record down at the same time. When you want to stop, you just push the stop button.
Wait, why don't we quiet up?
Please release me, let me go. You don't love me anymore.